Hey guys, Lyrics Messiah here, and today we in the studio.
Somebody's happy.
Yeah, somebody, we don't know who.
Congrats, Stefan. Congrats. Everybody. Bring it in. I'm very proud. I'm Butch Boss, by the way.
Yeah.
J Boogie, Jerome Butch. However you want to say it, however you know my bye. But I'm proud of this kid. This kid is doing stuff
So,
like this that I would never do. But
I think what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna release this video, even though it's not finished yet. I'm gonna release this video first, but then I want to do a series of videos explaining, one, the transformation with the space, two, the transformation with me, and that's on two levels. One of them.
Y'all is ready.
But yeah, so today we're just gonna this serving two purposes, this video. One is a test, because we wanna start to do more stuff like this, so this is like a test run. But it's also a chance for us to talk. Big up to the test podcast.
Yeah.
Big up to JaVale.
And them fellas is real kicks.
I was really actually inspired by you guys, because just looking at the setup, I'm not criticizing the setup or anything, but it's not super complicated. And it really had me sitting down thinking, like, what's stopping me, boy? So thanks for the inspiration. Keep doing what you guys doing. Hilarious stuff. And
Vibes.
keep the balance, because Junior Lee is too much.
Yeah, no.
But the Cuba Lord is pulling back.
Yeah.
So keep the balance.
Big up to Cuba Lord.
Any smallies watching my show, feel free to hit up Junior Lee. I know he always fishing. So
Okay.
I send them his way.
I thought I was a plot for you.
Not for me. No. We ain't reaching.
But he's single, guys. Ladies, yeah. Those stick.
So, in recent times, meaning over the past few months, not a year yet, but Jerome has been
True, not a year, but
not a year yet.
feels like that, though.
But yeah, that's real. It
Wow.
feels like because the quality of the time that Jerome and I have been spending together. By the way,
Come on now.
he's a married guy and I'm straight and single, so nothing like that. But he's been pouring into my life in ways that I would actually refer to him as a mentor. It's not a title that he will just readily take up, but he's starting to walk in it, and I appreciate that.
Yeah,
But
brother.
let's find out who's Jerome, right? You could introduce them, and I will supplement where necessary, although it should go the other way around.
I'm Jerome Butch.
Also known as.
Also known as J Boogie, also known as Butch Boss, Philosophy Man, all kind of things.
Drummer extraordinaire.
Yeah.
Videography professional.
Hey, where's that?
Photographer.
Where's that?
No, I just saying.
that's things I just do, but who is Jerome?
So let me ask you, what is one word that describes you now that has always described you? Jerome is.
I would say different.
So
Different.
Jerome has always been different, and Jerome is still different.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't ask me how, don't ask me what. That's what people just be telling me. It's only recent times we kind of digging deep and trying to, figure out our internal self. So, yeah.
All right. And next question here now. What is a word that describes you now that wouldn't have described you before?
That's a good one. That's a real good question. I'm thinking because unfortunately most of our feedback and actually getting these words actually comes from outside in and not inside out. So I kind of trying to go through my mind and see like what people are saying about me now. What I get in this season is just like maturity. Mature, yeah.
Okay. I feel that. I mean, it's something I see, so I could verify what he's saying. Hopefully I'm objective enough. Listening to you speak and describe yourself, and I'm also thinking about the recent loss we had to, I would say, the gospel community here in Trinidad.
Yeah.
And, well, the other day, I think yesterday or the day before, I posted some videos with Joshi, you, and Shakil, just playing drums. I was like, I appreciate you guys, thanks. And the intention behind that post, and now the headspace that I'm in, like just as of this moment, is let's call some names and let's appreciate some people that's still here with us. You know, let me take this time and let's do that. So I started off. I appreciate Jerome for sure.
Yeah, I don't know who's going this deep, but
I didn't know it either, but we there now. I appreciate Jerome as a friend. I appreciate Jerome as a mentor. I appreciate Jerome as a musician, as a videographer, as a photographer, as an example of what a husband should aim to be, or even in what he's aiming to be, but what he is as well.
Why if you big up yourself?
Yeah, Jerome. And also as a minister. I don't know if you would refer to yourself as a minister.
Whoa.
But
whoa there, buddy.
But if you really think about it, you know, I mean that's your function. You function in that place.
Yeah, that's so. Okay, let's go back to the original intent. Let's call out some persons.
Yeah. So I call out Jerome first. You could call out a few. I'll think of some more.
Now we leave it here because on the flip side, I'm definitely grateful for Stefan because this guy is keeping me young, guys. Like I don't want to disclose my age or anything like that. I'll never tell me in the comments how old I look like and thing, but yeah, like his passion and the ability to just do. Like, I think because of, I don't know, years of disappointment or just beating up myself for being a perfectionist. Like, this guy is just like, this is what it is. This is what we go and do. And we getting it done. And yeah, I really appreciate that. And then there's certain sides to me that I think individuals, well, he has been very instrumental in being one of the persons that would get me out of my head and actually start to live and actually do. So I'm a person where I have these grand ideas and just be like, yo, I wish I could like I could do this, and it's just like, alright, well, yeah, time. Like we go and get can't charge up your battery, like you go. And I must say I thank God for that aspect of Stefan. And then there's this newfound fire in Christ that I must commend him. Like in recent times, like he kind of bring back more, like, I don't want to say like my fire was quenched, but it's just like I remember that feeling when I was very young and just like you're just watching everything, you're reading everything, you're just going to church and it's like, leaders, why you not doing this? Like, you know, like, so he just real excited and that is very contagious. So for me, like, having somebody bringing that back into your space also makes you very excited as well, makes you think a lot and makes you very conscious about what you're supposed to be doing, because that youthful strength and passion is something what we might usually lose along the way. So I thank God for that. I thank God for him in the season. So yeah, big up yourself, lyrics.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, he's a boss of a spoken word artist. Not into too much, but definitely when he goes there with it, it'll be like some deep stuff. So there's that. And this guy is just like tremendously hospitable. I mean, it could be because of his upbringing.
Big up Auntie Jenny.
Yeah. The real OGs.
I appreciate Auntie Jenny. That's my mom, by the way.
Yeah.
Happy Mother's Day.
Yeah. And happy Mother's Day. This might be here and then or there. We could take the snippet on, you know. But Auntie Jenny, we love you. I love you. Auntie Jenny, that's mommy for him. Auntie Jenny for me. Yeah. But very hospitable, and he has a lot of qualities that I think people should take a time and look for it. This guy have a lot to offer, and look out for him.
I continue along that path. I wanna thank a few persons in one go. Well, I wanna thank Pastor Leland Henry. He's no longer with us. And so I mainly want to focus on people who are alive, so I appreciate them while they're here. But I need to mention him because next I want to mention Lincoln Henry. So when I first came to Trinidad and Yeah, I gotta say and Tobago, but it would be just be Trinidad. I joined the Steel Orchestra at Nazarene Worship Center. That's the Nazarene Worship Center Steel Orchestra, which was headed by Pastor Leland Henry, and his son was the captain, and arranger. That's Lincoln.
Bosch drummer.
Yeah, no, he's a good drummer as well. He's also a photographer too, but his creativity is more seen in music, so like music production, because he's built beats and all that stuff. He really exposed me to, well, number one, just feeling comfortable in a whole new environment. Because when I first started going to Steel Orchestra, right, I was really timid and like pushing myself up to go and get behind a pan and play and thing. I just sit down and watch.
Yeah.
And I used to come back home. My father drew out a pan on a piece of Bristol board. And I used to practice on that. Right?
Interesting.
But actually getting to play the instrument and stuff, Lincoln was really instrumental, no pun intended, in that. He also exposed me to like music. So back then too, I was real into alternative rock. And he was like, bro,
I want to see that.
If you... No!
Sarcastically speaking.
This song, and I still love it to this day, by Todd, I don't know how he pronounces his last name properly, Agnew or something like that. Grace Like Rain. Right? Hallelujah, grace like rain. It sounds like that. Falls down on me. Yeah. But so Lincoln tell me, yo, if you like alternative rock, nothing wrong with that. There are 1,000,001 gospel bands that sing alternative rock. All you need to do is Google it.
Yeah.
And that expanded my mind on music on a whole, because at that point in time, it's just like whoever hearing, well, that's what I know about music.
Yeah.
But now it was a whole, no, look for music that I like, you know? So, Lincoln, I appreciate you. While you're still here, I just want to say that.
Hey, well, I'll chime in, because Stefan even know the story. So when I probably was like in my second or third year in drumming in church, I met this guy called David Richards, who's one of the top musicians in Trinidad and Tobago. He's in Canada right now. But him and some friends, they had a school called Rhythm and Faith. Okay. And that he encouraged me to kind of further my skills in drumming. And in that season, like, I had like 1 week with him, and then he had us to travel because he was a real kicking musician. And the substitute teacher was Lincoln Henry.
True.
Yeah.
Way small
right?
world.
Very small world.
Small
And I was definitely, I could have been like, 19, 20 at that point in time. So that's really years ago. And yeah, so my first actual teaching, or I go to theology first. Church, but yeah. My first institution, and being very technical and drumming and all that stuff and rudiments and whatever actually came from Lincoln. Yeah.
Nice.
Like learning my little doubles and my parallels and thing. And yeah, most people don't know that. So like, Lincoln, thanks, bro. Did not forget. And you had a big part to play in my foundation. So big up yourself.
Big up yourself. You go to say theology. And on that note, let me just mention a couple of people who are really instrumental in the formation of my own understanding of Christian theology. First and foremost, my father, who is now the pastor of the Nazarene Worship Center. Steve Messiah, big up yourself.
Uncle Steve.
Steve. And then, well, my pastor, Pastor Nazir Mohammed from Tunupuna Church of the Nazarene, as well as Pastor Bernard Lee, who I'm also functioning under at Harlem Life Improvement Center.
Boom bang.
But then also Pastor Paul Bunzi, who was never really officially my pastor in any way, but he made an effort to be in spaces where I was to mentor me. Like, he took up that position without me asking for it.
Yeah.
I really appreciate that. Also, Pastor Francis Chan.
Yeah, must play any Francis. I really thought Francis would have come like second, Because I thought he was going to say it first, and I was like, nah, you had to put your father first now. So he did put Uncle Steve first. Whereas like, Francis.
I've never met the guy like physically. But I feel like I know his heart just based on like videos and podcasts that I taken where he's just explaining different sermons or giving speeches to different people in different spaces.
Yeah, bro.
It's like this guy, he
really
about love and having that heart for God, which aligns with my desire, you know.
Yeah.
Right now, I just want to abide deeper in Christ, really experience our love of God, because with that we will function. Once we have that, we will function. You understand? So big up to Pastor Francis Chan. Probably wouldn't see this, but I'm gonna mention it while it's still here.
Because bro, you never know where this will reach.
That's true.
You never know. It might be a pivotal piece of information. So yeah.
What about you? Any persons you watch online? Like who are you watching? Who are you listening to right now?
I have a host of them. Definitely, everything kind of started around Francis Chan. But I must say, like, in terms of influences, my best friend as a teenager, Murray Squashy, that was the person that actually had me reading my Bible. Like, we would be in church and he would be, like, we'd be hearing a sermon and somebody might be a little off with, the little reading or understanding. And I mean, I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but you send me a message, he's like, nah, just turn to this thing, and you just fact check it. No? And it was just like a weird relationship to have at that age, because it's like, where you get this passion just to be like, yo, let's get this thing right now. And Maurice was always that person, like, if we sitting together, he go and have me flipping through pages and like just going through everything the person's saying. And Paul kind of commended the Bereans for doing such. So it's like, I kind of understand. It's like, all right, that's a nice heart to have.
Okay.
So I definitely start with Murray Squashy. And then like he went into this whole Francis Chan phase, which carried me into that Francis Chan phase, which branched off into Kippy Yohanan, Gospel for Asia, Vodi Bakam, there's a lot. Mark Driscoll, Tony Evans. Tony Evans is more in recent time. And then like I started to invest too and just like get into psychology and just anybody who could have both theology and psychology and kind of explain how the mind works and how we express faith and how does that translate scientifically. Like, that's where my mind and my headspaces be most of the time. So I kind of watch things along those lines. So that's what I'm saying. It's kind of hard for me to list local influences, because my mind since a very early age has had a lot of questions where how faith and science work, and then faith and your mind and how your mind work. So there were rare persons that would be able to kind of locally answer all these things in one person.
I feel
But big shout out to my past pastor for many years, Pastor Fitzroy Griffith. I kind of had a season with Pastor Alexis from Laventil Open Bible, Pastor Janetti from Cornerstone Diego Martin Open Bible. Here's the thing too, what people don't know about me too, like I've been around, right? And not in the church hopping sense, but it's just like I've always found myself in these circles where
church teach.
What's whoa, yeah.
I know that went over some people's head. Leave it there. Don't go look at it. Leave it there.
Yeah. No, I'm not that. I'm definitely not that. But I've been privileged. I'll put it that way. Privileged to be a lot around a lot of men of God.
Okay.
Let's put it that way.
Nice.
Yeah. All right. So what I want to talk about and what people don't know, and that's what we should have been talking about
all this time.
I don't want to say all this time. I mean, we warming up, we getting into this thing. How I met Stefan, lyrics, Messiah. So this guy was going to my church, which is Harlem Life Improvement Center. It's an outstation of GLC, which is Jesus Life Center, and this is in Kelly Village, Carney, Song Park Road. However, they say it in the announcements. Yeah, like I was so. Odell and I were traveling the world at that point in time, and I don't want to bypass that, but we'll come back to that in a time. But from my understanding, Stefan was like our replacement for Odell, where one of the worship leaders there, Gavin Simon, I think he's the head worship person there, brought in Stefan, and I mean years pass. I mean, like I come to church, play my little drums, he play keys, hey morning bro thing, and we keep it moving. and
people who know me, this sounds like me. Just come do how to do and leave.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's a good thing. I'm just saying that.
Let me go there. Let me be real.
Let me unpack it a little bit.
Yeah. So I would go rehearsals, right? And this kid had a kind of attitude like he just not on the snub. So you don't want to interrupt the order or start anything. So myself and Odell, we humble ourselves, because when Odell came back in, it's just like, all right, he's already a part of the team. Odell say, well, he was just falling on bass. I continue playing drums, and we were trying to build a little chemistry. But this youth man, like, just didn't want to have vibes. Like, that was just our interpretation. So let's say in 2019, let's use 2019. Boom. Like we had rehearsals, the last thing, Stefan will come, he just be like, yeah. Or that might be like, hey, just try play the score, whatever. Because alright, whatever. He'll play it and not really take it on. It's like, whatever. They pay me for it. That's
that's
something like, you wanna defend yourself.
No, let me give you some more context.
Yes. Go ahead.
So, Gavin Simon, the worship leader or the worship director, I guess, at the church, is actually somebody who I would consider an uncle. It's like I'd call him uncle, but he's not really my uncle.
They're from Guyana together.
Grew up with
he's from Guyana. Let's see it.
So I don't know exactly how the conversation went, but he reached out to my father when they were seeking a musician, and so my father sent me, right? And so the agreement, the entire agreement was made between them. My father just present the information to me. Yo, church looking for keyboardists Sunday, and they wish practices this day, and at the end of the month they'll give you this amount. It's like, alright. So I went Sunday, I went to wish practice, boom, come to the end of the month, I received this amount. And like that was it. And that was it for like 3 years. So
yeah.
And
we thought he was a Christian or kind of thing.
So you see, the thing about it is, right? So like this service starts at 8 o'clock on a Sunday. And the church I am still going to in Tunapuna starts at 10:30. So when I play there, usually worship is wrapping up at around 9. I might stay around for a little bit after just to hear the word or whatever. But I had to leave there at 9:30, 9:45 for the latest, so I could get to the other church. So in terms of staying back and liming after church, back when you could have stayed back and lime after church.
Yeah, good old days.
That wasn't a thing for me. And I'm not using that as an excuse, because even at the church I go to, when church done, I go.
That was an excuse now.
So like that's me. Like he describing me to me, and that's the reality of it. So even when we come to worship practice, I really wasn't on that, and that happened for like 3 years.
Yeah,
3 years I would just go, do what I had to do, leave.
I don't know if that has anything to say about the environment, which we'll probably get into later on. But this is part to play with. This is how I kind of met Stefan, and he was that dude. So that's why I didn't know how to approach him, and it's not like he was the easiest person to approach. He would say that he was very emotionally detached at that point in time.
Yeah.
So it's just like
sure.
I was just like, you know what, we keep it cordial and just yeah, bro, you do your thing. We'll work with you, and after time, the team will like try its best to girl, I'll say family building vibes. You
Yeah,
go
we
out on little
meet and
outings
do
and yeah.
And even like some of those outings, I just couldn't go because I was busy otherwise. Which is like when you're split, especially like when you're going like 2-3 different churches. Like I don't know how people could have.
Can't serve two masters.
Yeah, I don't know.
That is just what it is.
How are you gonna keep
But
up an
but-
affair? You know what I mean? How you gonna have two families at the same time? I can't even have two
some people,
churches at the
yeah,
same
some people like the adventure. Maybe. Yeah. I wouldn't.
I wouldn't know
I
either.
wouldn't. But
We black men don't cheat.
yeah, that's facts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So let me fast track this thing. So that's on like 3 years
But
past.
don't forget, we had a conversation one time when you asked me for a drop to Trinity. Right?
Yeah, but that was like at the end of the.
It was coming down closer to the end of the
yeah,
3 years,
yeah.
but in that conversation, it's like he had heard that I was into photography. No, Lily had a photo shoot.
Yeah.
Lily, so that was a member of the church. She
Yeah.
had a photo shoot. Usually Jerome just take her pictures. On this particular occasion,
No. Let's clarify that. I don't usually take
on
a
the
picture.
previous occasion,
on the previous
Jerome
occasion,
took her
I did,
pictures.
Yeah.
On this occasion, Jerome was out of the country, traveling the world, living his best life. So she asked me, because I was also into photography at the time. Well,
Yeah.
Videography more so, but photography as well. And I don't know, the word reached around. I mean, yes, you see the pictures and stuff. And so on this occasion, I was dropping him to Trinity, and we spoke a little bit, like, yo, you into the camera thing, yada, yada, yada. It's like, all right, well, yeah, he telling me, but yeah, I will, we will talk or something like that. Like, he will call me if stuff come up or everything.
Yeah.
Cause
I was feeling him out.
And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Never heard from him.
So how the hell we here? that don't make no sense. Yeah, so let me get like
You never follow up on that, though?
No. So I mean, I did.
Hey, go ahead.
I did.
Explain to them how you followed up.
Okay. For example, because they did 2 shoots with Lily, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think I did. Cause
You
I
gave me feedback on it?
Yeah, I gave feedback on it.
Right, but in our conversation in the car, I was like, I will hit you up if we shooting, I could come along, thing.
Right. So here was going through my mind in that season, right?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yo. Yeah. So I now discovering this guy talent, skills, ability, and I was just like, all right. I saw potential, and I was like, I'm a person, I don't like to rush things. So I'll chest back, I'll watch, I'll see what you're up to, what you're doing, how you're doing it. So we had that conversation. I was just like, all right, cool. He's a photographer. Then I am seeing he's doing video too. I was like, all right, cool. Now these are the things that I also do. And then I'm in the industry, so I wanted to know like how much the industry that he's into, who you know, who you don't know, and just let me watch from afar in terms of just like, yeah, I am so and so, and come and follow me. I was just like, nah, let me let this guy show me who he is first before I kind of put any kind of influence. So here and there, I would just kind of like be like, hey, I see you doing this, that was nice, or hey, you could have worked on this, or whatever the case may be. But I wouldn't be like down his throat. So I don't know what was his expectations, but we had one conversation that was kind of deep, and I feel like, because songs like no, I was leading him on now, but
I mean, to be honest, I had forget about that whole thing.
That's good. You want a song to hit now?
No, well, now that we're unpacking all the details, I can look back at it. No, I remember at that time I was so detached,
Right.
I wasn't expecting
perfect excuse.
Yeah, no, but that's what it is.
True.
I wasn't expecting anything from it. But eventually there was something from it.
Right. So this is going into the whole moving away from just being a church musician into getting into the whole photography thing. So mainly 2 things happen. Now, something happened in my life where I didn't have as much resources in terms of human resource to get certain projects out and to do certain jobs. So I was just like, all right, this guy says he does this. Let me see what really going on, right? And then like he didn't necessarily had like a Instagram or anything like that was kind of showing off his work, right? And then I think in that season, I think that's when you starting the whole YouTube and you're doing the films and thing. And I watching these films, real backyard kicks, right? That is how I would interpret it, right?
No, yeah, true.
Thing, big sheets and whatever lighty fine and no. I watched with my wife and I was just like, this guy, I mightn't do it that way, but with his limited resources, he is doing something. And time again, he was consistent. He had a whole series on some show.
Yeah, that's when he first lockdown, Lost and Soca. I will leave the link to that. But yeah, it's basically...
let's take it in and build a real kick.
Yeah, it's like a reality TV show that we make at home with like 10 different characters and it's just 3 of us.
Yeah, the man tried. Like he went all out and I was just like, So let's bypass the technical stuff and just like, let's take the value in it. Okay. This guy is passionate. This guy writes a story. This guy shoot this himself. This guy edits himself. Get a script. Get actors. Like he indie play himself. So it's just like I was like, all right, there's merit to that. You're hardworking. So I was like, all right, I could see that now. Then it's like, all right, I seen where in the technical aspect, I was like, all right, you could beef up this, you could change this, you like whatever the case may be. And I was like, potential. It's like I could work with her. And that is when it's just like, let me see if this guy is interested in just rolling with me or working alongside me or have the capacity to work in some of these pieces that I am in. And that is how it really started. Like, I threw it out to him. He's like, yeah, I like the idea. I there's only so much you can learn on YouTube. Sometimes I really had to go to the field and thing, and he's just real hype and thing. I was just like, cool. Because in all honesty, like, I wish some of my mentors in Trinidad, like, I wish I could have been around these guys and just to see them operating their field and see the things that you might be missing out. Because sometimes it's not about a lecture or a talk or sit down and like change picture profile or editing. Sometimes just how somebody would approach a set or approach lighting or approach clients. It's just like, whoa, I would not think of that. Or I would not have done that way. Or you get to see how efficient they are in terms of time management and how they deliver this stuff. And it's just like, yeah. So I guess that's what his headspace was at. It's like, all right, this Jerome guy.
Yeah. Because as far as I was concerned, Jerome, in the industry, right?
Yeah.
Everything I learn is from YouTube. And I just doing everything solo right now. Let me rock with somebody who in the industry and learn like how this thing does actually function. You know what I mean? That was the value in it for me.
Yeah. And he came in. Couldn't be more of a perfect time.
You remember the first thing we worked on though? Was it the live streaming or did we do something before that? I think we did something before that. Because yes.
Yeah, we didn't.
With Jarrell. Chrisan? Was it Chrisan?
Could have been.
Because when we started...
No, it wasn't.
We was already doing the live stream when that happened.
Yeah.
So what was the first thing we worked
That's a real good question. Which making me think that we did a lot of things before that. But I know there was something job related that it was kind of straight on, and I kind of see how you did stuff in our situation. Then we did some musical stuff with Jerome. And then we, on the second lockdown, we started live streaming for our church. And I think that really developed the relationship that we have now, because like every week, or every week or every other day, because there were other things happening at the point in time.
Yeah.
That we had to engage with videography. We had to engage in terms of planning and talking and editing and the final product, what the church was looking for, and then we still have worship practice, and then trying to help the team in that regards.
You've
and
seen
stuff
a
like
lot
that.
of each other.
So by default, it's just like, all right, yeah, time, then quality, then value.
Mhm.
And they were all there in the same space. So started to develop like a mountain of great vibes. And then like meeting his parents, I must say, like kind of changed my perspective totally because Stefan and Stefan is a byproduct of something. And he was still figuring out. So you just see some weird things, just be like, oh, so I really don't know who raised Stefan. But like, you just used to do some weird things, just be like, this man real out there, real weird. And it's just like, yeah, he need help. But then I realized it's like,
You need Jesus.
yeah, it's just like, I meet his parents, and then I realized like, you just want to be rebellious. All right, makes sense. I know you would not agree to that, but I would say that because
You know what?
Because definitely between that time and now, what has changed?
Right.
What has changed?
No, I settled myself.
All right. So
because I was gonna say, even in my sessions,
alright.
which we will talk about in a different video,
yeah,
the rebellious thing came up, and even when it was identified there, I was like,
rebellious.
but hearing it then and hearing it now, it's like, yeah. I guess, yeah.
I don't lie, bro. That's
But yeah.
the truth. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the summary of the story is Jerome and I were just like
Yeah.
two particles operating on
Whoa.
the same plane but different wavelengths,
You could just say human beings, but
and circumstances just brought us to vibrate on the same wavelength, that kind of thing. Because like, I really don't remember what we should before the live stream, you know. But in that whole live stream, the second lockdown,
yeah,
it's like Jerome and I, and like now, I mean, just Jerome and I, like the amount of comfort we have in terms of relating to each other, and the understanding we have of each other, you would swear we know each other for like years.
Yeah. He really pumping our little brother vibes. So, and I don't have any brothers. So, is it a lack? I have fulfillment in Jesus, so I don't need them all. Yeah, I don't.
I don't need you.
Nah, yeah, but yeah, definitely. Like in this, there's so many things to talk about, but that's just the original story of Stefan and I, and we have kind of integrated our professional worlds and develop a friendship because that's not what was there before.
Mm-hmm.
We just had that cordial church. I have a job, and that was it. Now it has developed into a friendship, and now even beyond that, I would say I could say that he's a brother because his parents has taken me on too as a son. So it's just like, like glory to God for that because now like I could really entrust that if I need assistance, if I need somebody to talk to, if there's an emergency, I need a place to crash or anything like that, like they have proven themselves to be that kind of support for me, starting from him and then just trickle to his whole family. So so that's the genesis for me.
For sure.
Yeah.
And I think I have no corrections to the story whatsoever. As a matter of fact, the story is good as it is. Getting ready to wrap it up. I just want to sort of talk about the importance of relationships like these. And I'm speaking here now specifically male to male and not in an intimate way. Well, yes, intimate, but not in a sexual way. Or, you know what I'm trying to say, right? As friends. Stop making it weird. Like...
Pause, bro.
Yeah, big pause.
Yeah.
It is very important for men or boys, males, to have other males in their lives. Not necessarily other leaders, so not like a father or a pastor, but also friends that you could speak to and to an extent be vulnerable with. Because men understand men. And I see a lot of times on Facebook or whatever, is it possible for two people of opposite gender to just be friends and thing? Yeah, it's possible, but most of the times you end up developing feelings for the person and that kind of thing. But also, a woman wouldn't be able to understand certain nuances that just you as a man will have going on. And so sometimes, just in my talking to Jerome, I mean, thankfully, he also coming with a spiritual foundation that he could also have that level of discernment. But just as a man seeing another male operating a certain way, you could connect the dots because it's like, I have knowledge of having done this in the past. So looking at the behavior, it's like, all right, this is what's going on here. And you could speak to the situation. You could, call me out on certain stuff, or you could give me advice on certain things if you figure, this is probably what's going on here. And I think as men, if you don't have at least one or two guys like that in your life, you need to sort of develop those relationships because it's going to be very important, not only in developing your manhood, but just your general functioning as a human male,
Just to add to that, the reality of life is that we are all influenced by somebody or something. What he's saying is very crucial and important, especially in today's society where we are not afforded to be brought up by both parents. We are both fortunate to have our both parents in our lives, but we could clearly see in society that is not afforded to everyone. So these relationships are very vital because it's either it's going to be a healthy influence or it's going to be a toxic influence. For example, this might have been weird just now when he's cracking his joke in terms of being intimate, but intimacy in a basic sense is just level of closeness, right? And vulnerability. And you could have that in a gang setting. You could have that on a lineman with your boys on the block setting because there's a place where you come and talk about, boy, I meet Sandra in the party and boy, Sandra, give me a wine. And it's just like, that's you being vulnerable in that space. Then you are now going to be influenced by...
Yeah, because they will give you advice.
Yeah.
They will give you
advice coming.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's just, is it healthy or is it toxic? And we have this weird way of like this real girly and the way how you use intimacy, and we can't use certain words because of toxic masculinity. But at the end of the day, like, we all are influenced by our circle, by our friends, and it's definitely needed in this time for us to have healthy peers. So if you don't have a healthy system in terms of mentors and leadership and parenting, choose your friends wisely, because you will reflect their value, you will reflect their influence. So I would close on that.
For sure. I just want to leave you guys with a few questions. Speaking specifically to the men, ladies, I love you so very, very much. But I think the direction in which I want to head with even like somebody...
What happening here?
No.
Oh, okay.
The content of the channel.
Okay, yeah. Whoa. Yeah, I was lost there for a second, you guys. Yeah.
Whoa. With the content for the channel, I want to speak to the men because I recognize, the gap in society, and in whatever ways I'm equipped to minister to that, if you want to refer to it like that, I want to. So men, here's my questions to you. Who are your influences, right? You need to sit down and you need to sort of account, well, who's really influencing me right now? Might be people physically in your space, might be people that you look at online, or the music you listen to. Like, who are these people influencing you? More than that, who are the men influencing you? And if after you've answered those two questions, the second one more importantly, you recognize there's a lack somewhere, or these people not really reflecting what I want to have operating in my life, then it's now on you to actively seek out the influences that you want to have. Build those relationships. Message those people. You never know who is going to reply. Like, I was very surprised, name drop, when Joel Murray also known as Positive, kind of reached out to me because this is somebody I admired. By the way, I appreciate you, bro. And like I would have never fathomed having, a relationship with him because back in 2000 and whenever, after one of his concerts, I messaged him and he never responded. But fast forward a couple of years later, me doing my own thing, he reached back out to me. And he's now able to influence me in that way, or I'm able to influence him in that way. So I'm just saying, reach out to the persons that you want to be active influences in your life, because whether you recognize it or not, you are being influenced. And it's your responsibility to make sure that the people around you are the persons you want to be. They say something like, what if you're lying with 9 billionaires? You will be the 10th one. And the way you have to look at it is not that you are a candle and you have to have a bunch of other candles around you. No. If you are a candle, then you need to have a bunch of mirrors around you. Think about that.
You called me before that, right? Yeah. And I want to do that.
Nah, because I was thinking about this the other day driving home with the mirror thing, right? If I'm a candle and I have a bunch of other candles around me, right? Let's say you have 10 candles in a room.
Yeah.
And you're out one. Would you really notice?
No.
Good. However, if you have one candle in a room, right, and you know something about lighting, so you could just imagine this, and you put about 10 mirrors in that room, what's going on there?
Reflecting in one candle.
Good. So you need to have people around you who are going to show you yourself. They're going to call you out on certain things. They're going to bring certain things to your attention. That's the mirrors that you're looking for.
Yep.
Yeah, the other thing with the analogy with the candle and the mirrors, which I'll probably discuss in another video, they are not candles. Like, as a candle, you want to gravitate to other candles because they look like me, they act like me. I'm going to feel very comfortable just operating in my own, comfort zone around them.
Take your candle
and go like the world.
Go light your world.
But a candle is not a mirror.
No, it's not.
So you will start to see the differences. You might feel the inadequacies. You might recognize your shortcomings, and that's good. That is great, because now you're in a position to work on it.
And now you're in a position to grow.
Amen, brother. Amen. So I want to thank Jerome for appearing on the podcast. We will be seeing more of him for sure, and you guys will also be seeing more of me. Again, I have a few videos planned already in terms of explaining
studio space,
how we reach here, basically. How we reach here physically, spiritually, emotionally, because I went through some things, guys.
Woo!
You might not have been seeing me, but trust me, things have been happening.
Woo!
So we want to talk about that.
Yeah.
Anything you want to add before we go?
What's the name of this?
Boom shot. Ooh, we gonna drop the name? Yeah.
I don't know. Let them know. A different season of life. New name, new season.
I mean, I'm still Lyrics Messiah, and this is still Butch Boss. But
together. Not together, but. Yeah.
Iron sharpens iron. Yeah.
So we're not manscaping anymore? I'm not shaving your balls, but just like...
We will be manscaping, and again, you will figure out what we're talking about as we go along. But also the iron, and sharpen the iron.
Yeah. Definitely. It was a word from God to me.
Yeah.
And spread to us. So, yeah, let's talk those things, no? Yeah.
We out. Be sure to check out Jerome over on Instagram. His link's going to be down in the description. Probably going to be appearing on the screen above his head as well. Feel free to follow your boy too, to stay tuned and keep posted. Like, subscribe, hit the bell if you want to keep up with what's happening.
Like it, send some comments. Talk to me now how the set look.
And
how
if
dress code looking, he improving.
Like
watch your older videos and compare. It's like,
I don't really have a girlfriend to come and tell me, hey babe, you should have think this or that. So I just kind of playing it by ear.
Personal fashion. I mean, that's a thing.
Playing it by ear. So. Alright guys, out.